Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today, I'm going to be talking about a topic that everyone knows and loves, and that is people playing Wizard101 and the ages they play Wizard101, the target audience, all that stuff. Now I'd like to say, I'm wearing sunglasses again. Why? Because I'm exhausted. I don't know if you can tell by my eyes, but I have not slept in 20 hours, and I'm having a time, alright? So I'm going to record this video, and then I'm going to go to sleep, alright? So let's get into it. So, there's a few things I want to talk about this video. First off, I want to talk about the target audience of this game, the actual audience of this game, what KingsIsle is doing about that, and then what they should be doing about that. So let's get into it. So, everyone knows, and I think I can officially say this, everyone knows that the target audience for Wizard101 and KingsIsle is 10-year-old children. It's rated everyone 10 and up. What this means is that KingsIsle, when they first set out to create the game, designed it specifically with the purpose of being for 10-year-olds, but also is able to be played by older people as well. I feel like this is pretty fair with what we have, and definitely is reflected decently well in a lot of Wizard101. Now, there is obviously the flip side, though, and this is something that a lot of people bring up quite frequently, is that the actual audience of Wizard101 is not what the target audience is. A vast majority of Wizard101 players are 18 and older. And the reason for this is that everyone picked up Wizard101 anywhere from the ages of, 5 to 10, and they did that 10 years ago, and now they're all grown up, I started playing Wizard101 in 2011, when I was 9 years old, and I am now 19. So, you can tell, there's quite a lot. The vast majority of players are cases like me, where they've been playing for 10 years, and now they've grown out of this. Now, why is this important, and why is this something I want to bring up? Well, I think KingsIsle has a significant problem right now, and that is that they are not recognizing that their actual audience is now different from their target audience. When they first created the game, it was created with the intent, as I said, for being rated 10 and up. Now, that was all fine and dandy at first. Most players that played it were probably around the age of 10, give or take. Some younger, some older, obviously. But what's changed is that the vast majority, and I would put it at like 70% plus, are going to be over 18 now. What this means is that a vast majority of their audience isn't going to enjoy the same stuff that they enjoyed as a kid. Now, what I wanted to specifically talk about in this video, and what I had problems with, is how they're gearing their content. Now, I brought this up in my Discord server, and feel free to check out my Discord server if you want to. I don't want to be in the Cave of Solitude. Why am I in the Cave of Solitude? That's such a gross place to be. I brought this up in my Discord server, but basically, the recent Wizard101 worlds, I'm not going to say that they've been less mature per se, but they definitely have had a much more child-friendly vibe and aesthetic to them. Now, for certain worlds, I think this works. For example, I think that Caramel has a fantastic story, and I honestly like the characters and plot of it, because I think it deals with very real problems in modern society, like, the horrors of capitalism and the problems that we might experience under that system. I think it is a really genuine message, and I'm glad that KingsIsle did something like that. But on the flip side, in Imperia, you just had kind of Star Trek ripoff, Batman ripoff, and then in the end you dealt with the strange love story between Grandmother Raven and Spider that really didn't end up going anywhere. And honestly, I think that was my least favorite part of Arc 3 altogether, was the overarching plot between the love story between the two. I'm sure quite a lot of people agree with me. It's just right, you could see a beautiful love story like Malistaire going through hell, trying to revive his dead wife who suffered from a sickness, giving up every part of him that made him him to actually revive his wife, right? And that's a beautiful, beautiful story versus Grandmother Raven going, Grandfather Spider bad, evil, and then Grandfather Spider being like, you took my heart. And she's like, oh, I did do that, didn't I? Darn. And then getting attacked by their child, you know, it's just like, it's just not on the same level. Even Arc 2, where I don't think it's not necessarily more childish, it's just less in depth than I would like, has more mature themes. So I think King's Island needs to do, and my recommendation to them is find a healthy balance between a serious game and a legitimate serious topic versus a fun and enjoyable kids game. Now I'd like to say a lot of Arc 1 doesn't even have that fun or doesn't even have that like bombastic overly child friendly vibe that the later worlds have, right? Like Mushu honestly doesn't have really anything child related in it, like specific jokes or anything really. Marleybone doesn't really either. That could be seen more as comical based on like how the dogs are overplayed as British people, all that kind of stuff. That could be funny, but Dragonspire definitely doesn't have anything like that. So I would say that it's almost like they shifted to try to drive their game more towards a child audience, but I think that they're losing sight of the fact that most people aren't even children anymore, you know what I'm saying? So what I would recommend them doing is trying to do something similar to Caramel and actually incorporate a child-friendly theme around a world with very serious topics and themes. And I think that this has always worked in children's movies and stuff, having more adult jokes and adult things scattered throughout, so it's still enjoyable for the adults, but it's not necessarily designed for them, right? Because this might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think this game should be replaced with an adult's game. Just because just because a lot of adults play it doesn't necessarily mean that, right? I don't think that it would be fair to have this game be marketed for 10 and up since the dawn of time and then change that because that's not what most of their audience is. And I mean, you know, there's a lot of games like that I'm sure that exist. Like nowadays, I doubt most people who play like the new Club Penguin rewritten games, like, you know, I've gone on them a few times just to relive childhood memories. I doubt most of those are children, despite the fact that it still tells you that you need to sign up using your parents' email, you know? So really, that's all I wanted to go over today, was my thoughts on that. So ultimately, what we've gathered here today in this video, King's Island gears their game towards children. It's mostly played by adults. I think that they should find a happy medium, and ultimately, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. What world specifically do you think has like too much of a childish theme? I know a lot of people don't like Caramel for that reason, but I think Imperia is a much more gross offender than Caramel is, honestly. I think Caramel honestly isn't too bad because of the actual themes and messages it has. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm gonna go now and go to sleep. I'll see you on my Discord server later, but if you want, as I said, feel free to join my Discord, maybe support me on Patreon. You can do that if you want to, if you're generous enough. So that's it. Thank you all for watching. Drop a like at the sub button, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day.